Good morning. Lama control san la hyantsa lo. Orgyen sentient tamchi Dzogchen Ranyak Patrul so. Niji chimbo zoden himhi, zonle malam chimbo ngajata. Pekarta ngam sentu hyolmo do. Dumba tu Dzogchen la sorvande. Yagar penchempo la karanchi, pimalin tronkolande romi, tatalona sumbu kananze. Orgyen Rinpoche la sorvande. Shuaman chuje inji potongni, tuson sonji kanyo mawani. Ronsan chu kumansu tunzi kutsawa lama nama sorvande lokson roblo na chulaya. Sosan dunga chinda che chinchin, nyason mepo hiwa jalaso. Semchen tangda nyurda tangchen na damba namchi nanta tsarda so. Hyoncho sancho Rinpoche, ma hipa nam hiejirachi, hipa nyamba me pata. Koni kondam pirwa hyo. Good morning. Of course, we need to remind each other, please, to think about the benefit for the sentient beings. Because there's the such described to say that all the sentient beings, or any kind of sentient beings, without connect to us, there's no exist any single sentient beings. And there are sometimes be our parents, partner, children, family, friend, all the times. And of course, sometimes we have the positive connection, negative connection. But it's like there's no certainties. And sometimes it's like a positive connection. Your parents, your children sometimes become the disturber. Finally, they also making negative connections. But ultimately, everything is very much connected to us. And also, if a good point of view, a good attitude's point of view, I think it's like all the sentient beings the same as we are. And they also like kind of the concerning happiness, and also they want to get rid of sufferings, and so on. And this is like absolutely, it is the same. And also when we look at the according the concerning or the motivation, or the according the attitudes, like someone's concerning the benefit for other sentient beings, the result, consequence is fantastic. And this person's become the most precious, important. Everybody appreciate very much. If someone is very much selfish, self-centered, only concerning own benefit, there's not much appreciation. Then is the result is the samsara, worse and worse, life. And it's like kind of reducing the happiness, making increase the sufferings. And in that perspective, we should think about ourselves to create more like a large, profound, big, excellent, positive thoughts to concerning benefit for others. This is like relatively, this mind is fantastic, fresh. Absolutely, this mind is bring to us enlightenment. And therefore, it is very important to generate bodhicitta or think about bodhicitta. And that means it's like concerning benefit for sentient beings. now I'm going to study how about taking refuge, like a subject matter of the taking refuge. It is says that the foundation stone of all the teachings and the path. And without taking refuge, and there's no kind of the chance, no possibility to take other vows or other discipline. And if there's no vow or the discipline, then what am I going to practice? Then it's like there's no result. And therefore I'm going to study, then I'm taking refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha and apply my own path to be enlightenment in order to benefit for other sentient beings. If you have this kind of attitude, that is compassion, that is the kindness, this is the really heart mind of the Buddha. And then it's like, of course, firstly we are studying the particularly object of the Buddha Dharma Sangha. Yesterday we already studied qualities of the Buddha, qualities of the Dharma, and in our text it's like Konsho Song Deshit Zavasam, Zalno Tili Rong Yonchip Sengo Rong Yatuji Jonko La Yonchi Himbi Bar the Shaps and Churs. We are on this text. In the Sungata of the Three Roads, the True Three Jewels, in the Bodhicitta, nature of the channel, energy and essence, and in the mandala of the essential nature, natural expression and compassion activity, I take refuge until I reach the heart of the enlightenment. That inside, the most part we already studied, but maybe it is like a principle, the source of the refuge is the true three jewels. And maybe, of course, if you study Uttaratantra, there's such information about the three true jewels. But as this time we studied a little bit, maybe qualities, strength, blessing, and they're like kind of how it is like important, particularly object of this, why we are taking refuge inside in the Buddha Dharma Sangha. And then it's like if we know, then more comfortable, more like kind of the faith, devotion, and occur. If we have more faith, devotions, then is the teaching and the path, and everything is going to our heart very well, like this, and enthusiastic, appetite, and everything can occur. And then it's like automatically the meaning, the realization of the Dharma is occurring into our minds. When this occurs, we automatically reducing negative conceptual thoughts, automatically purified the obscuration or hindrance, and also increase realization, knowledge, compassion, and increase. And then it's like more and more clearly our mind, more and more understand, more and more happy. That is the most important. You have like kind of the such knowledge, what is right, wrong, and you can to follow up to yourself, you can to teach it to others, you can to search to help other sentient beings. In the beginning, we're talking about, during the visualizations, you like kind of taking refuge yourself. The right and left side, there are the principle with you, your companion is like kind of the father and mother. And of course, surround, there's the most, all the sentient beings, everything. But there's some, is a very most important, your enemy, like kind of the disturber, like those like kind of the whoever harming to you, those sentient beings, you put the front row, and you put the front, you are like more caring them. And why this is like, because it's like they disturb to you, how it is the Longchen says like, adversities, obstacles, enemies. Those are like kind of the so kind. According that, we found Dharma, we found peace, we found kind of the enlightenment, we found like a forever happiness, unchangeable happiness. And therefore, it is like to other sentient beings the most important, and like you concern it to your compassions, or it's like to thinking to the others, and then taking refugees, how much is like they also received benefit. And therefore it is very important, firstly, to study the particularly object of the source of refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Today maybe be a little bit just short to give you information. And the Sanghas, Sangha itself like kind of the three kind of the headings you can to say that, like first the essence, and then is the qualities, and it's like how it is like when we be together, the sanghas, it's a kind of the benefit. And generally it's like kind of the sanghas has the principal two qualities. And two qualities is like you can to say is the knowledge, or like kind of the realization, or it's like kind of the seeing inside, and like kind of the, this is the first qualities. And the second is the qualities, the liberation. Liberation means, for example, seeing or knowledge or realizations, they have this kind of the to have someone's, and then it's like really is the great, the sanghas. For example, we say there's the ordinary, like general dharma practitioners of the sangha, and then it's the middling kind of the sangha, like Pachika Buddha, Shavaka Buddhas, and then it's like the great being noble sanghas is Bodhisattvas, and in the Bodhisattvas there is like kind of the Sutrayana, the Bodhisattvas, sanghas, and outer tantra practitioner, Mantrayanas, outer tantra practitioner of the like a kind of the Ngakpa Ngmasi, and the sanghas, and also is the inner tantra practitioner of the Maha and others. There's great perfections of sanghas. All is like their sanghas, they should to have some is like kind of the seeing and the liberations qualities should to have like this. For example, we can to say it's like a beginner, like a general, ordinary. The meaning of the sangha is, for example, someone is totally believe and also trust to understand like a kind of the rebirth, and also understand the inevitable of the causalities, and to have such a view and such a confident insight. And then they are like kind of the trying to do the two activity things, like written activity things, realization activity things. For example, written things is like the cause of the lower animals, hunger, like a hell, hunger, ghosts, animal animals. It is the negative actions. They fully understand, they want to written or get rid of these actions. And also they understand fully, it's like kind of great opportunities, the result of the human, God, or any. And then they are like, they understand this cause, they try to collect the 10 positive actions. And this sort of like a kind of the realize that the really the cause of the happy, cause of the sorrows. And then it's like also someone's gradually, supplementally, and they like a higher and higher rebirth. maybe from the hell, like hungry ghosts, animals, they're liberated. That like kind of realizations is to make more and the liberations. Maybe the achievement of the human realms, God, and also they have to continue this kind of the seeing realizations. They're more and more liberated. Maybe they're easily to enter the like a kind of the really practitioner Pachika Buddha Shavakas. Then they also go continually Bodhisattva, they become the Buddha. Like this. Therefore, it's like a kind of the first two qualities. It is like kind of the basic principal qualities, realization and the liberations. And also in the, we say it's like a lesser kind of the practitioners of the Shavaka Pachika Buddhas. Of course, they principally, they should to have the such knowledge. And this knowledge is like a kind of, how to say, it's like to understood exactly the, like a kind of the rebirth, fully to understand the inevitable, the causalities and cause and effect, and they fully to listen to the Four Noble Truths, and they understand, they are realized that the subdivision of 16, the part or the connect to the Four Noble Truths. And like for instance, like kind of the impermanent, selflessness, emptiness, so on. And then it's like finally they realize that this Four Noble Truth. And then it's like realizations more and more. And like kind of the result is like a superior's entrance and the no return, and it's like a once return, no return, and the arhat. They like kind of supplementarily, they become the enlightenment finally. And therefore this sort of the seeing liberations, and also it's like the lesser Sangha is quite very much, we can to say basic Sangha. And of course, we can to say the Bodhisattva Sangha. And Bodhisattva Sanghas, the realization or the seeing things. And basically, of course, to understand what is right and wrong. And like basically, this to understand the rebirth, confident, fully to understand the causalities. And of course, particularly they understand like a kind of the making the diminution of the self-centered, and more making more kind of the increase intention to the benefit for the sentient beings. And they understood this is the perfect path, perfect realizations, and they applied the path. It is like kind of the accumulation junctions. It's coming across quite very fast, very kind of the profound, deeply. And then it's like the each moment there is the such liberations. For example, compared that they when they are be in the path of the accumulation, they reach in the kind of the path of the junctions. There is like progressive liberation, progressive like kind of the realization, and finally they realize that the like enter into the third path of the seeing, and really fully realize that the true nature of the reality's path, then more cultivated. And then it's like this is the we call the noble superior Sangha, and then they gradually or supplementarily, then this like coming across the last bhumi of the 10th bhumi, and finally they are like kind of the eradicated all the disturbing emotion obscurations, they become the Buddha. This sort of practitioner, progressive practitioner, are the superiors, excellent in the Mahayana's based sanghas like this. And then it's like other we can to say uttaratan, like how does authentic kind of practitioners, like a kind of the outer tantra or inner tantras, it doesn't matter. And they have basically they believe like kind of totally to understand rebirth, of course totally to understand the causalities, and then it's like they have like kind of the basically, of course, big kind of the great attitude of the compassion, like some of the Mahayana Sangha, and top of that they have very skillful and very profound, sharp minders, and then they are kind of the bring everything into the path, like a kind of the relate to our body, like here is the channel, bindu, essence, so on, and they'll have like kind of the each like atoms, particle, element, phenomena, everything is like kind of the become the helper of the path or become the path of them. That is the Mantrayana's tradition. Of course, first basically compassion, and to have the such a realization of the alpha purities inherently or like kind of intrinsically we have this nature. That is like they understood, they have the realization of the seeing, or like kind of the have knowledge, and like maybe it's more focus on it, and then there is like the main and the on the path that receive the maturation of the empowerment, outer inner secret, and keep the perfectly samayas, and very much kind of the fast quicklies. Of course, if we can to say it's the great perfections perspective, there is like kind of the four like kind of the principle empowerment, and also there is like kind of four samayas, and these four samayas is like extraordinary way. These four samayas maybe I will just tell you, and the first one is like kind of the absence of the anything, kind of says to keep the samayas of the absent, like kind of the you can to say the emptiness, nothingness, nothing there is preserved, nothing kind of keep, nothing reject, nothing kind of the you observe something but nothing distracted. There's this sort of there's such profound samayas. Of course, everything's related to the own root teacher, and this kind of the sanghas, they no need too many lifetimes. Maybe it's like even the no many years, maybe no many weeks. If we have like the great like a qualified teacher, like a kind of the true qualified teacher, true qualified student, like a reality pit instructions coming, maybe each moment they can to realize the natural reality to become the in like kind of the like kind of extraordinary, excellent kind of the mankind realizations can occur their minds. This is sort of the great perfection. So sangha, and if you like kind of take this sort of the sangha, this is very much such a kind of the benefit in the temporarily if you rely on this kind of the sanghas, and also we can to learn a lot of the positive things. These sanghas means they show you, they demonstrate to you, they teach you all positive things. They never ever show you the negative things. More and more you can to learn how to become kindness, how to change your own disturbed emotions, how you can to look or correct yourself, and like lesser to criticize, lesser kind of the to be like kind of curiosity to others, and lesser kind of criticize to others. You all the times your own correct your secret defects, your own defects. This kind of you see the noble sangha so naturally, automatically, you have enthusiastic, and you are like kind of they give you automatic qualities. Of course, generally it's like you call the sanghas, very much aggressive, very much jealousy, competition, like someone's to study, someone's doing, all the time is jealousy, all the time is rivalry. And also it's like someone has a little qualities, you hated to them, and like kind of, and you drink, party, like kind of doing such worldly things. There is like naked is like kind of the vultures. And sorry to say that, but they are coming, oh, very nice, and doing some positive things. They all the time is problems. This kind of sangha is not maybe really sangha you should to take care. Really compassionate, good sangha. It doesn't matter this sangha is realized or not realized. Someone's to really to understand rebirth, causality to other sentient being situations. They really is to develop the compassion a little bit. To they all the times turn inward. They mix it dharma, their own minds, correct their own something. There's a process that you can to be close the 100% great such a benefit. These kind of sanghas, if you do like this, it's support for your study dharma, it support your realization, and it can lot of support it. Like for example, we become enlightenment, we need some supporter physically, mentally, verbally. And then it's like sometimes, how I can to have them. When you have the good, excellent sangha, we need to more to realize, more close, more take care. If you lost this kind of excellent sangha, then what you do afterwards? You want to become like a very negative friend, negative, everyday beat, killing and stealing, drink alcohol, take drug addict, and all the times give nice like kind of nasty word and criticize, curiosities, and this sort of people to be together, immediately better to run away. And like therefore, for example, someone's really to study Dharma, the science really benefit or not, we can to see. You know, in Tibet there is maybe someone, you know the Tibetan, tutok yeshitolwa gamtok nyunmo pas. That do you understand? Oh yeah, surely you. Tutok yeshitolwa, the science of the you study very well is automatically become peace, kindness, relaxation, no kind of nervous. It's like this. When you are someone's like beginning nervous, depressed, something anxiety, certainly you more and study the Dharma. Maybe you basically to understand the human existence, impermanent causalities, and defects of the samsaras. Then you look at your situation. You more happy. You more understand Dharma coming inside. More relaxations. And like kind of the surround your family, friends, surprise. Wow, look to change it. Really in Belgium, some parents, our students, really they appreciate. Sometimes we are not really interested any kind of religious, but my children cannot to follow us. Someone's become different, like a religious, also someone's follow you and become the Buddhist. But one very carefully to look, very carefully, there's like kind of completely become more kind, and arrangement of life is okay, and more elegant, more harmony. Thanks, that's appreciated. Then it's like also families appreciate very much when we are study kind of calling the I am a sanghas. It's like kind of insulting each other, criticizing each other, want to kind of become the boss, and like kind of you doing this thing not good, I will doing very well, I'm good, you are bad. This sort of all the time. Which kind of sangha? Then is to follow up the Dharma, absolutely fake sangha. That's you should to take care. And also ourselves to like Some is negative sangha, 100% better to avoid. I give you guarantee. It's just, it doesn't help to these others and not benefit yourself. Slowly, bad influence can come. Then it's why you to be there. If you are Buddha, you are Bodhisattva, you have realizations, okay, you never influence can occur. I have many experience. Negative friends is not very good. Like this, there is a positive, like something, it's like good sanghas. Try like gold. It is like all the time is very, very important to collect it, more to close. To find sometimes it's like this kind of, don't to lose. If you lose the afterwards, and then it's like again to contact, very difficult. Like this, one day maybe inner your realization is totally disturbed emotions, desire attachment, ignorant, like kind of jealousy, this kind of disappeared. You don't need any support. You become the rhinoceros. You go to even the solitude place, years, and you have good friend, negative friend. It doesn't matter. Your mind is like a mountain, nothing kind of the move. And until there is very important, rely on sangha. And also therefore to take refuge in sangha, good sangha. And like this, maybe some others take refuge into ours. We need to take care. We also name of the sangha, how we can to protect to the others. If we take refuge in the like other practitioner sanghas, that is also we need particularly object of the sanghas. And it's like negatives, this kind of, we can to talk later, like this. And then ultimately these qualities, you can to really good rely on the sanghas. It's absolutely, they bring to you the enlightenment. Absolutely. In the outer like a source of the refugees, it's a sangha, as I said, like this. They all the time supporting each other. Like when you study, supporting to you. When you practice, they help to you. You listen to teaching, they help to you. And when you are really to actually practice, you go to in the solitude, you go to something retreat, all the time supporting to you, physically, mentally, verbally. Oh yes, very good. You practice very. Sometimes you need help. I can to help. Day and night, they can to help to you very much. Then it's temporarily this rely on the support. Then finally, you become the powerful, strength, enlightenment. And like this, therefore, it is the sangha is the most important. And therefore, we are also talking about the sangha. Then it's like outer is like the source of the sanghas. Sangha is very important, like Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And the inner three roots, like kind of this is source of our refugees. And also it's like very much rely on the dakinis. Dakinis is like kind of the most like holding of the activities, most supporters to others, more fast, more compassionate, more kind of like, how do you say, it's like patient, and like they doing something in extraordinary ways, like they can to do it, and like this. And in the secretly, also it is like three kayas, also it's like our sangha is the Nirmanikayas. And Nirmanikaya is the more relevant benefit. Of course, it's like for the sentient beings. That is the very much extraordinary. Yes, this one is. And like this, and then is, and secretly our like kind of the essential nature, like a kind of the channel and energy and bindu series, like maybe channel is the more kind of like a supporter of our body, more kind of like this. Any perspective of the sangha is most important. And therefore, now I don't want to sleep there. I'm moving to the next one. Like you should to here it says, you should say this as many, as much as, and you need to say it like it's many times. It is said that many, say this as many times as possible yourself in each session. Normally session is when you go to make the retreat, and maybe 4 sessions. In the morning, 2 sessions. In the afternoon, 2 sessions. There's 4 sessions per day when you are retreat. Maybe if like you during your life, you're dealing with your life, maybe there's like 2 sessions. In the morning session, maybe in the evening sessions. Like morning, you immediately wake up and to wash your teeth and a little bit put cold water in the face and go to your like kind of altar to at least there is some added the offering the waters. Maybe you don't need all the time to rise these things. And also butter lamp is in Euro very important. Maybe you can to buy like kind of the electric butter lamp, like kind of this electric, maybe it's more safe. And in your altars, maybe it's like a representative of your like kind of the 3 jewels, or like the particular subject. At least representative of the Buddha's body, one maybe small statue or small thangka, and the representative of the Buddha's speech, it is like kind of the text. Maybe it's like the Dharma of the transmission, maybe any kind of the books, volumes you can put there. And then it's like a representative of the Buddha's mind. Maybe you can buy any kind of stupa. There's a big, small, if your visualizations very well, you don't need a huge or big the stupas. You just your support of your meditations, small stupa. These 3 are like put in the front that. And this is the representative of your refuge. Or maybe you can to put there's the refugee picture, refugee trees picture, and nice frame to put there. And then this may be only there's enough in the picture. You have the Buddhist representative, enlightened speech, and also it's like there's a sangha, everything. And then it's like every morning, do not be lazy. You can to offering. Maybe you don't need to buy the big kind of offering bowls. Maybe small. Maybe you can to spend silver. It's more kind of the easily. For example, if you use the couple or maybe like ceramic, or maybe it's something nice things, just small. There's not much you need to put a lot of water. One maybe butter, mineral butter, 1 liters. You can to offering again, maybe 3-4 times. The early morning, maybe it's very good things. In the evening, any times you to take out this water to clean, to put there, be ready in tomorrow morning. Morning you immediately wake up to do like this, and then after to blessing. Just the blessing is very easy. Maybe you should put incense to say Ramyanko Oma. Ramyanko Oma, you can to recite it. And or maybe there's a clean water sprayed like a little bit, and then you can 3 times to presentation. Or maybe you can just do like the palm. Oh, I'm taking refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and may all my activities benefit for sentient beings. May I become cool enlightenment for benefit sentient beings. That you can to say. Then this is your section. This is a wonderful evidence. Then your this bedroom, wherever you have this small altar. I have my altar as a big one in Dharma. It's very huge. 20-30 people is difficult to carrying. And the middle altar I have very some small. It's okay, quite. I have a very small altar this size, not more than this. Inside the small tiny picture statue and the stupas. That is my. Sometimes very, very small things. I have carry 1 refugee, maybe it's like a picture. That is, then imagine offering things also like this. And then this is your support, the meditations, daily sessions, practice things. And very important, this is very simple, easy. You don't need to preparation a lot, show off to others, to family, to your friend, to sanghas. Very much Sikh could like to do like this. And even in your families to do this, and what are you doing? Why not? This is, you cannot to say, you don't need to hiding like this. And each family has their own like kind of the things. You need to be very kind to your family, and you respect to your family. You need to help your family. That is the according to the Dharma. Then is you do like this, and they cannot hesitate to you. They cannot criticize to you. The very, very ugly things you say is like, I want to practice Dharma, and in this perspective it's like, oh, bye-bye. Maybe I need to go to the like kind of the seminars. That means maybe you are seeking or looking for the teaching, or maybe you looking different, some for your benefit. Maybe at home you're not helping to the food, you not clean the room, you don't do anything. Then it's the families, what are you? I'm meditating, I'm studying Dharma, I'm like kind of practice. What it is, they're not very good. Then it's the people hated, oh, religious people say, absolutely, totally like this. If really Dharma, good Dharma practitioners, they clean the house, they making food, they support to family, they like kind of the, even like kind of the shopping, everything they doing. This is like kind of part of Dharma activities, and like do like this. Then you're at home and you're these things. And I think your families, they never disturbed. Why not? Someone's collect a lot of kind of teddy bears, these things full of, and families cannot reject this person they want. Someone's collect like different toys, different, even they're doing it. This is they own like kind of a little favorite. When someone's families become Buddhist, okay, you want to practice, why not? This is sometimes I saw that some good families, really they do. Says like no competition, no like kind of supporting each other. They say, okay, you don't want to follow the Buddha's path. You are normal. Okay, you go follow, listen, teaching, take care. I can to support you. Or says, okay, if you want, you go to meditation retreat or like kind of study, but I'm coming with you. I'm not interested. I can to help to you. Some good families is like this. If you take care to others, they take care of you. And this, therefore, is like each session. You need to object yours in the during session until you have said it at least 100,000 times. That is the necessary. In a preliminary practice, we need to do the 500,000. First is the 100,000 recitation of the refuge prayers. And then second, it is the bodhicitta. We need to 100,000 prayers. Third one is like the Vajrasattva mantra, the 100 syllable mantra. We need to recite 100,000. Then is the fourth one, is the mandala. It's like a Longchen Hymntics, longer mandalas, quite very difficult, like 3 kayas mandalas. But short one is like common with Sajipuchu Shushime Thotam. This one we need to 100,000 times. And then is the prestation, like 100,000 prestation. This is quite, you need to do slowly them same times. Of course, there's someone I met in Tibet, one lady, it's like her life, like 2,500,000 she did. It's inconceivable, amazing, but we want to 100,000 is very difficult, but very slowly. This 500,000 we kind of the clean our body, speech, mind. This purification, such based like kind of our mind, body, speech. And after you're done like this, like you cleaned your container of the mind, like a body speech, then you can to like receive your like kind of principle teaching is very ready. Like principle main pit instruction liquid needed to pour into our minds with first the preparation. That's very, very important. Or maybe you studied many years about Nagarjuna Asanga's teachings, really based like philosophical things. Maybe also this purification, maybe it's like, maybe that's make the representative the Hundu preliminary practice. Then it's the Guru Yoga. This is a different way. Guru Yoga is like normally or Maham Benza Gurpi Masadaho, like more than the 1,200,000 that's necessary. This is like more, etc. So like this, the first 100,000 times we need to recite to the refuge mandala. Be sure to the like practice it is like distinct scenes, saying and make it your concentrate and most importantly practice. And it's like kind of the really it's a kind of the 100% sure like distinct sessions, like really you as like no mistake. Then sometimes like you can like automatically you are not really decided, but you are kind of counting your mala. It's very fast, quickly. Maybe actually or the automatically there's not you done the 100,000. Like you done like maybe 10,000, 20,000. Then you say, oh, I done 100,000. That's not very good. Precisely, really unmistakenly. And also it's like when you are practice this, here it says, you should to take the distinct sessions, really correctly to practice to make the session, morning 2 sessions, like 2 sessions in the evening. This is maybe quite very difficult, only in the retreat place. And like this kind of, then it's the very important all the time is, maybe it's like in your mind, it's like a practice all the time. He said you're consistent, permanently. Most important practice this refugees. And because this is the foundation stone of the teaching, foundation stone of the all the paths, therefore principally your daily like kind of the foundation practice, it is the refuge praise. Then you might wonder why your enemies and obstacle makers are the given precedence over your like kind of the parents. Precedence is like kind of you perceive the most important than your parents and the refugee practice, because you put in the front rules there. Since they are visualized at the front of the roads in the front, maybe most too closer to the refugee trees, while you're the like kind of the father and mother are the beside, you at the back, you at the behind. Maybe why you think why it is like the important your kind of the enemies, obstacles, like kind of the negative like kind of the doer to use. Here said that the reason is that we who have undertaken the great vehicle must have the love and compassion of the bodhicitta equally for the whole infinite of the sentient beings. Equally means it's like impartially and like everybody's. This therefore we call the great vehicle, great like kind of the profound path, extraordinary paths, because therefore it's become the great path. You like concern is whoever disturb you, whoever make obstacle you, whoever like kind of criticize to you, whoever doing nasty things to you, you more respect, you more caring to them, you more give love and compassion. That is the way of the Mahayana. attitude of the Mahayana, conduct of the Mahayana, then you are the Mahayana practitioners. Otherwise, as you say, I'm a follow up the Mahayana's path and I'm studying Mahayana's vehicle. But your like kind of the attitude is very much horrible. It's like kind of you don't give love, compassion, respect to the even your friend, families. And of course, it's like your enemies, your obstacles, day and night, you concern how I can to destroy, how I can give nasty wood, how I can to make problem, this kind of them. Then why you attack Mahayana's like kind of path? You are on the Mahayana path, but you are not Mahayana practitioner. You are not Mahayana Sangha. Then you making problem yourself. Of course, maybe you can say, oh yeah, I'm not Mahayana practitioner, but you are Mahayana practitioner. Okay, you can to say like this. Then it's true. You do like this. Then it's like kind of, okay, I will go then. Okay, you can go. You can do what you want to do. But actually, it's like the kind of the problems. 100% is a result to you. And look that we can to look in this world. Someone is like kind of intelligent, very successful something, but all the time is carrying the like kind of arrogant, proud, and kind of the jealousy, lot of like kind of the self-centered, oh I am, who can come close to you? Nobody's take refuge to you. Nobody's kind of coming too close. How many sufferings? Look in this world, someone is like very much rich, but they have such sufferings. Sometimes they die alone and with such a kind of the material thing, but no friend, no families. They hesitate because it's our inner ghost of the arrogant, inner ghost of the kind of the, jealousy, inner ghost of the like anger, desires. Then this make big kind of problem. After this person dies, maybe hell and hunger goes. Then it's that you making problem yourself. Absolutely. Maybe in the temporarily, you give love to others, you compassion give others, you respect. Maybe kind of you are loser, but ultimately 100% is not. You are more and more as a rebirth and higher. You are on the path of the Mahayana. Finally, you become the Buddha. That is the obviously. Who you give compassion, love to others, the final result is the enlightenment. Then it's like this. We can look in the Buddha's histories. Buddha, him, of course, successful life. His parents like rich, but he's giving compassion, love, taking care to others. And he's happy and happy. Finally, he became the Buddha, well known worldwide. But he's causing brothers, intelligent, successful, but all the time is reverie, arrogant, kind of the competition, and like kind of this. Of course, he sometimes prayed like Brahma's way. It's like he go to say, God, help me. I want to become the winner. I want to become the successful. All the time concerning that. He was with Buddha, but finally he died ugly way, and he's like kind of the, reborn in the hungry ghost realms. Like this kind of, then it's like we destroying ourselves. And in this perspective, we are now in the Mahayana's path. We should to give love to compassion to even our enemies, and our like kind of the problem maker. That is how is the beginning. Dzogchen Ranyak Patrul says, I'm appreciated. For example, Jetsen Malaripa, Gelon Pamos. There are many. Someone's like maybe, for example, maybe I myself. I appreciate very, very much my diabetic. Since I got diabetic, I'm like more concerned in my death, my negative deeds things, and like more I'm interested to the Dharma. I want to more practice. I want like kind of, since I got the worse and worse, this diabetic and something, or maybe you are going to die. Now, yes, but I need numbers. Then it's a worldly, automatically not thinking futures, or I want to create like this. I'm very much, my mind is creative, like all the times want to do. Then it's these things to make me reduce. And then it's like each moment I want to make simple, I quickly them when I'm dying, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. I'm appreciate, I'm not, this diabetes not killed yet. It's really like this. Jetsamala Ripa also, he's like a kind of robber. And auntie and uncle, they took everything. Then finally, he met Dharma, and finally, he's a winner. He became enlightened man. And also, Gelon Parmos, one lady, beautiful lady, she got like kind of leprosy, like kind of ugly sickness. According that, she is like renounced this world, and then she practiced, and finally she became the great master, enlightened. Therefore, sometimes really Mahayana's path is Mahayana's path because of the love, because of the compassion, because of the bodhicitta, like this. We need to think in like this, okay. Oh, yes, time is ha 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 ha. Coffee and tea, thank you very much. Coffee, 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 coffee. Oh, yes. Practice coffee, practice coffee. That is the representative pure perception. I have a nice coffee myself. 15 minutes, yes? Okay.